And ladies and gentlemen, when you're in a room with so many Catholic priests and they invite you to the podium, feels like you're about to read the Bible. But I think the last 4 or 5 days, I've had the opportunity to read this entire book. And it confirmed for me a few things. In fact, the first reason for which I agreed to do a review and to read this was because, George, I wanted to find out if all the stories I had heard about were true. And indeed, they are true. And then the second reason was that Madame Elizabeth Ohene had said that this was a story of a young man who saw the possibilities of mobile money long before anyone believed Ghanaians could be persuaded to appreciate the merits of cashless transactions. And I was thinking to myself, so indeed you are the guy behind the e-levy experience we had in this country. But on a more serious note, the reason for which this book excites me dates back to 16 years ago, when I was given the challenge of hosting a breakfast show on Joy FM. And the gentleman who had hosted it prior to that, Komla Dumont, had done it for about 10 years and had so much experience. And I spent my first 2 years just messing up. I was a hopeless starter, despite the fact that my management kept encouraging me. And I kept thinking to myself, if only Komla had left me a book. If only Komla had left me something that outlined his experiences, maybe my mistakes would be less. And for me, it is critical that people who've been through various things, corporate, politics, many other facets of life, leave something that can open a window to those who want to follow that path to understand. I want to read from pages 233 to about pages 223 to 233. And they talk about George's decision to enter politics and the battles and the advice that he ought not to enter politics. And it says from the last paragraph of page 223, says, when I decided to participate in active politics, someone who thought I was making a bad decision sent me what he called 10 reasons why politics was not good for me. To him, the things associated with active politics do not conform to my personality and my principles, and hence I should stay away from them. I reproduce his reasons just as he sent them to me. In politics, you must understand the following. 1, nobody has your interest. 2, everybody is chasing their interests. 3, dealing with politicians is like sleeping with tigers. You must always have your eyes wide open. 4, and this is one of my favorites. In any political equation, there's always someone being used. If you look around and you can't find that person, then it is you. 5, serving politicians is like a bandage on a wound. Once the wound is healed, your usefulness ends. 6, in politics, never will more than the bereaved. They will get the reward while you inherit their enemies. 7, in politics, in any event, if other interests conflict with your interests and you have to choose, always choose yours. Number 8, never cross oceans for politicians. You may drown. And it goes on and on. But then he concludes, and that is where the real lesson is. He says that as much as I understood the sentiments he raises in the above pointers, the question I ask myself is, if not me, then who? Whether we like it or not, democracy is what we have allocated to ourselves. We therefore need people to take an active interest in it. It is unfortunate that how some politicians have conducted themselves over the years has probably given credence to these sentiments expressed earlier. And George goes on to say that we need to change these sentiments. The people must have belief in the system of government because that is the only way true development can occur. I was motivated to contribute my part in making politics attractive to people like me, and indeed to all Ghanaians, and to the best of my ability. That is exactly what I've tried to do ever since I became part of frontline politics in Ghana. While contesting for the Utu Senya West parliamentary seat, I prepared and shared my message with the voters, a copy of which is found in Appendix 1. I'm working hard to live by that message, hopefully with God on my side. The journey has not been easy, as I have stated. Nonetheless, I'm still soldiering on. I came into politics with my integrity intact, and I intend to keep it as such. The sad thing, though, is keeping your integrity is one of the most difficult things to do in Ghanaian politics. While I strive hard to serve and execute